That's kind of the copper borders. Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's unlucky for our opponent. What are we Phoenix forcing in this deck? I'm looking at our deck. What am I Phoenix forcing? Okay, wait, no, I know the answer now. It's we're gonna Hulk Buster, and then we're gonna Atuba the Hulk Buster, and then we'll Phoenix force the Hulk Buster. Smalls, thanks for the almost 2.5 years. Welcome back, appreciate it. Oh yeah, this is perfect. And then we'll Arnim Zola the Atuba. You're gonna do what now? We're gonna Tuba the Buster, and then we'll force the Buster to Buster the Tuba, and then we'll Zola it all around. Does this work? I think this works. I think this works. We'll just have ourselves a good old-fashioned Marvel orgy over here. Everybody's merging into everybody else. The opponent's gonna play Shang-Chi. Wow. Imagine thinking my opponent had a Shang-Chi. Oh, and it can still move, too. That's fun. It's a shame I'm not winning here with 22, because then we could juke Shang-Chi and, like, do this. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we got them. All merged up and ready to go. Look at us schmerge. This large angry lad. Alright, for the Pokemon enjoyers in the audience, I am downloading my review of the new Pokemon set now. So it'll be on YouTube in, I don't know, less than 10 minutes. It's got like 60 seconds to download and 60 seconds to upload. And then it needs a process on the YouTube side for a minute. My kingdom to have fewer screens at the end here, huh? Is Oddhawk still a deck? Yeah, it's fine. Pretty consistently has all right metrics. I think it's difficult for a deck like Oddhawk to ever be fully pushed out of the metagame, just because the very proactive disruption and efficient stats keeps up with most things. What did we lose? We lost Nimrod. They lost Blade. Hey Jeff, you were talking about uploading your Pokemon video. Why have you abandoned Marvel Snap? It's asking the real hard-hitting questions that I appreciate Twitch chat for. Agony into Hulkbuster and the Deadpool path works how I want, yes? Let's find out. Let's go on an adventure together, shall we? We're learning about all sorts of new and exciting merging rules today. Look at all these. Look at all these lovely threesomes. All right, then we want a Carnage or a Venom here, ideally.
What a game!
Or I could draw an Elixir, who's actually worthless, because nothing's been blown up. Oh, sorry, I said nothing's been blown up. Rocks have technically been blown up, but they weren't blown up last turn, right? Oh, you're late, Carnage. I just can't win the game, right? I just have infinitely more numbers than me.
Escaped.
I mean, that in that last game, if Elixir had been Deathlock, we probably win, yeah? But instead it was a useless card. Small, 6 for the 28 months. Chief Corned Beef, thank you for the 22. Winterfell, thank you for the over 2 years. Good morning, good morning. Jedriel, thank you for the half a year. Sorry I missed a few of those in there. Ewok Slayer, coming in hot for the over 5 years. Good morning, good morning. Brackers, thank you for the 2 years. Lord Francisco, thanks for the almost 2. Glad you enjoy the community here. I think I do this so I can merge into Nimrod next turn, yeah? Oh, you know what? Do I do this turn? And then next turn I could go Nimrod into the center with this, and then get this, and then blow it up? Yeah, I think this is the line for sure. Is there a Victoria hand deck without Frigga? I have hand in my shop, but not Frigga. Every hand deck definitely wants Frigga. I mean, you could play them without her, but you're going to be one card misbuilt. Frigga is very good with Victoria. And then turn 6, we can Carnage plus Phoenix Force. Yeah. So this will be 9, 14. It'll be a 16 power Nimrod. And then we'll get to Nim the Rod and then Phoenix Force it back. Real clean big swing here for us. So do I want to play for all 3, or do I want to play hard for left and right? So this gives me the option to play for all three, because it puts the Nimrod back in the center. This would give me 29, 19, and then 5. Yeah, I feel like just playing hard for left and right is probably better, because like if they shang me, they blow me back into the center. And I feel like they're good at spreading out. Yeah, I like going big here, I think. Yeah, cool. And honestly, this deck kind of feels like a good example of the Elixir decks I've played so far, which is to say, like, the destroy stuff we're trying to do seems kind of sweet and maybe even powerful, but just, like, thinking about what this card is doing and where it's fitting into things on curve, it's just like, I don't really have good space to fit it in most of the time. It's just like, like, the deck is built to maximize the new card, and he's rarely the optimal thing to be doing, despite being maximized around him. I see it's gonna be a mulligan. Was it Maria Hill Scorpion yet? Ooh, giving me Nimrod early. Is potential saving grace? Like, it's just this, yeah? Okay, but wait, I'm gonna be able to win the left, yeah? So I do this, into this, and this'll bring back the Nimrod. Elixir's gonna do a thing, chat! He's gonna do a thing! This is local man about to be Cosmo'd. So this goes on to Nimrod. Elixir brings back a Nimrod. And it's funny, the only reason this worked is because our opponent waved us, otherwise we would not have been able to go Nimrod into a tuba. That was kind of fun. He did a unique thing. Yeah, it's a neat viewer deck. That's why viewer decks in this game are fun. There's so many unique combinations of things you can do in Snap. Penny could let us do that organically, right? Yeah, perhaps. I suppose that's true. I finished an alliance mission too. Value. Yeah, we're playing some 5 cost cards. I guess we'll start taking notes. If this one is fun, we'll post a highlight with it. We'll put him in the middle so we have a clean way to merge into him. Right, we're gonna have a decent Deadpool draw here, it looks like. Thank you, opponent. That's definitely a best case scenario.
What a game!
Yes, for those that missed the Pokemon news, Buzzwole is confirmed coming to Pokemon Pocket in our new expansion. I think I want to do this, and then we'll plan to merge into the Venom next turn to slide him over here, I think. That way we can win Otto's Lab without having to play into it. Well, now is it just this? I think so. Get shanked in the middle and feel real sad. That's fine for us, yeah. Because we get to spread this out, and then we get a big Deadpool back to our hand here, too. Then I have Phoenix Force to potentially bring this back with priority. Although I guess Phoenix Force isn't guaranteed to bring back the biggest thing, huh?
Cut off one head, two more shall take its place.
It's fine. We probably just avoid playing for the center and play for the left or the right, since their Fenris gets the Venom back. That's funny right there. I think I actually have to play for the center, right? Because they're definitely a Shang deck and they could Shang the left or the right. Is not big enough to win the center, so what are they doing on the left here? I already played Shadow King. We should be good on the left, yeah? Yeah, cool. Nice tech cards, gamer.
Victory.
Opponent taking a moment to deeply contemplate their decisions that led them here. They played so many tech cards, they still didn't win. Marvel Rivals is adding an auto battler limited time, like a team fight tactic style mode. Evan, what do you mean? What is that? What you mean by auto battler? Yeah, like team fight tactics in Rivals. That's interesting. I'll have to make a point to check that out. Is Agony better than Hulkbuster for curve and consistency and destroyed X? Why not both? We're playing both here.
What a game!
Oh me oh my. Oh me oh my. I'm really sad I burned Venom already. I think it's Galacta into Deadpool Atuma.
I definitely need to change my underwear.
Okay, so I get to put a 9 power thing into here, and then Atuma blows it up. And then I'll slide this down into here for now. Okay, and then I have priority here. So I could go Elixir, bring back my Atuma. Actually, let's go Deadpool so I don't lose the Galacta, and then Elixir, Elixir, bring back the Nimrod. And then I can Atuma over here, I suppose. I like putting big stats over here that don't get impacted by Shadow King.
Power must be controlled. I definitely.
Man, that's pretty embarrassing for you, gamer. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! This deck makes Shang look really embarrassing, which feels good. They clearly need to buff Shang-Chi. I mean, that's what I've been saying, right? Like, pretty much every reasonable Marvel snapper out there is like, Shang-Chi's such an important card. Why is it so weak? We need to get this card buffed up a little bit. And this deck just running circles around it with Marvel Snap's latest pay-to-win card release in Elixir. Really highlighting the massive power creep that these starter series cards need to catch up to. So hopefully they buff Shang next week in the OTA. Alright, well, we're definitely going to do a double set with this one, because it's been very amusing. Obviously, a very good use of our Black Cosmic Border here on Elixir. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause to let some adverts roll. In the meantime, in between time, thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, smash the like button. Appreciate the folks that have done that already. If you missed it, the new Pokemon card review is up on the Hoaglandia Pocket YouTube channel now. Feel free to check that out if you are a Pokemon cards enjoyer. Clearly, Shang-Chi needs to banish things. LOL. I'll buy some more Black Cosmic Borders during the break here. Make sure we're well stocked. Math, thank you for the almost 3 years. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Did anybody know people are talking about Marvel Rivals adding an auto battler? Do we have any gameplay details for it yet? Or do we know when it goes live? That's definitely something I'm interested in checking out. Drafting style games are my speed. Uncle Schleim, thank you for the 11 months. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to play this without Elixir, Deathlock's probably the card. The Auto Battler releases June 6th. Cool. Panther. Welcome back to one of Hoaglandia's OGs. Thanks for the almost 5 years of support over the last many years. You've been around a lot longer than that. Hope your personal sphere is doing all right. I've decided that's my new moniker, chat. Where instead of saying hope things are going all right given the general state of the world, I say I hope your personal sphere is doing okay, because it communicates what I'm looking to communicate. Saw your couple of tweets about the Dark Legion game. Was thinking to try it out. Yeah, I've got a sponsored link. You can support my content for Dark Legion. If you hop on in, make sure you switch your server after you sign up to 215, because there's different servers in the game for groups of people. That's where we have an active Hoaglandia Alliance. Suave Nightgale, thanks for the 16 months. If you're someone that enjoys Hero Collector games, it's a solid Hero Collector games. I am a Hero Collector game enjoyer myself. Played a lot of Genshin and Star Rail and Raid and all those jazz. Does a fine job. This bike, if I would have put batteries in the bike, does track how many miles you've pedaled, but I never put batteries in it because I didn't care that much. Are any of the seasonal series 4 cards worth it? Batroc looks fine, but I'm worried that they will nerf him. I don't think he's remotely good enough to get nerfed. I think he's a sweet card, though. That is accurate. The gachapon is strong in Jeff. I like what I like. Our target audience. Those games make money for a reason. Have a demographic that they appeal to. And I am certainly inside of it. Jeff is the demographic. No, I don't spend enough money to be a Kraken in those games. When I'm enjoying a hero collector, I'll throw like 15, 20, sometimes $100 a month at them when I'm really into them, but I don't spend like Kraken money on those types of games. I think this is this here, and then we load these up into the island, and then we'll Zola this to spread it out is the plan. I remember you played Genshin. Yeah, I'm an endgame Genshin player. I've played Genshin for daily for probably over 3 years now. Did you say crackhead money? I said Kraken money, but crackhead money is probably applicable too, really. If we're being honest. Did you say crackhead money? I can see how that sounded. Could have sounded like that. Yeah, I understand. I accept. Oh wait, this is there's a turn 7. So we're doing this then, yeah? I missed there's a turn 7. Is this deck popular? Well, there are currently over 1,000 people watching me stream this deck between the 2 live streams, so some amount of those people are probably playing Conquest as well.
What a game!
Yeah, unironically, AFK Journey might be the most whale hunty of any gacha game I've ever played. I burned out on that one hard. Raid Shadow Legends says hold my beer. I mean, unironically, AFK Journey is significantly more spend money gacha than Raid Shadow Legends. As someone who's like played all of these games enough to know their systems intimately, like Journey's probably the most harpoons you could get. Should we Deadpool first to try and get the bigger one? I don't know. This plays for all 3 better. It's mostly a flip anyways, especially if they have Azola as well. Tainted Doc, thank you for the almost 2.5 years. Welcome back. Alexikov, thank you for the 7 months. Is this deck good if you cut Elixir for a good card? I will say I've been kind of impressed. What source control? I've been kind of impressed with Nimrod stuff in general.
What a game!
It's felt Nimrod feels like it's been above average for me. We're cooked here, and I don't think I'm gonna play more games than a beer match. I'm gonna play one for fun, but. Have you tried Wuthering Waves or Zenless Zone Zero? I played probably 8 to 10 hours of Zenless Zone Zero. It seems reasonable. I just don't have time for another Hoyo gacha game in my life. All of Hoyoverse's games have like lots of hours of story content in them. And there it makes it difficult to keep up with more than one casually. I think unironically the reason why Genshin Impact's the RPG gacha game I've played longer than absolutely anything else is because Hoyoverse's monetization and lack of competitive PvP elements make it easily the most consumer-friendly gacha style game that exists. There's no social pressure to spend money to keep up with the Joneses. And you can get through the single player content with anything you want. Things like Raid or the DC Dark Legion game, there are pseudo idle numbers go up games, which are fun in different ways, but they require a much different attention span than something like a Hoyo game does. I think it's this. I think it's this. I think if you cut Elixir, you play Deathlock for the added consistency of an extra destroy card. Would be my suggestion. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. Let's read. Excited to get Cosmoed in my Nimrod path in the last turn. And like even here, right? Like if this Elixir was a Deathlock, we'd be better off, yeah. I actually just straight up don't have any Destroy Enabler. I mean, I guess I have Nimrod. I guess I have Zola, which is technically winning a game. It's putting plus 18 here and here. Marvel Snap is super fun. Tech card. It's a tech card world. We are all just living in it. Thanos tech slop. The gamers playing in Marvel Snap's first official tournament this weekend are braver souls than I. I will be at my camper walking through the creek or playing frisbee golf with the kids and some friends. Munchlack. Surge Cerebro 1 doesn't work, because Surge has 2 power.
Hello.
Walking through a creek like actual water, yeah. This is one of the investments my wife and I made with my couple of good years of money that Snap did for us was we picked up a site at a private campground. And that looks out. So this is all here, and then there's a creek down here in the back. That one doesn't have a good picture of. Where's that? One of these has a picture of the actual camper in it. This is a better photo. This is the park model camper up here at the top. And then it looks down into this. A creek down at the bottom. Sorry, opponent, we were talking about the outdoors. What microphone do I use? I use a Rode Procaster with an Elgato Wave XLR USB interface. Is that like a timeshare? No, it is a members-owned campground that's governed by a not-for-profit that has a board made up of the members. We technically don't own the site, but we own a share in the campground. I forget legally how it works. Yeah, technically we don't own the specific piece of land, but we have the rights to have our camper there, and we're an equity member or something like that they call it. It's something my my grandfather and my grandmother helped create, like, I don't know, 50. I think they had their 50-year anniversary back in the 80s or the 70s, So it's been around for a little while. And that site was previously my grandfather's before he passed away. But there's like 200-ish sites out there. There's a frisbee golf course, a bunch of parks and stuff.
I definitely need to change my underwear.
So, Phoenix Force is getting a copy of Carnage. And then once it's Carnage, it doesn't move anymore. I think this sounds good. Yeah, this sounds good. And Phoenix Force is just better than Elixir here, right? Because if I Elixir the Carnage back, the Carnage is going to eat the Elixir. Sammy N, thanks for the over 4 years. Welcome back. This was Airship Leech, people saying. Leech. So how is Elixir? Most people seem to... I think Elixir is probably the worst card to release into Marvel Snap, since maybe the Hulkling. And I think this last turn's kind of a good example of how clunky and awkward it is. Like, Elixir should have been kind of okay here, but it was still worse than just Phoenix Forcing, I think is like the best way to describe it. Like, even in these decks that are like super built to maximize him, he still feels like the second best thing to do. He's like an okay redundant Phoenix Force, but that means when you have both, you'd often would rather just Phoenix Force. Yeah, it's like a worse Phoenix Force backup plan, and Phoenix Force isn't a particularly powerful card to begin with, I think is the way to describe it. It's novel and kind of cute, but ultimately not that good. Munchlax, were you hanging out in chat, by the way? I might have missed it if we were chatting about some other stuff. Do you have something other than Surge Cerebro 1? Because that just isn't functional. What? Okay, well, you know, talking about Elixir, what if we go Hulkbuster into Venom this, into Elixir it back somewhere else? Elixir is kind of like a diet version of an already D tier card. Yeah, I think that's a good take. I'd be inclined to agree with that. Surge Cerebro 1 should work because it makes everything 2 if you play her. Yeah, that doesn't sound remotely reasonable. in the Wolves Den. Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Sure. Frog in the tent. Thanks for the 10 months.
Minions to me.
Ah, rip. We would have won if these went backwards, yeah? We lost this 50-50. Yeah, this archetype's gonna love Kid Omega whenever that card releases. I'm actually a little surprised. I kind of feel like they should have flipped them. Kid Omega probably should have been Elixir's release, and Elixir probably should have been a Series 4 card based on the amount of utility and things you could do with them.
Hello?
Ooh, I was muted. Thank you. Much like says, do C6 Wicked. Yeah, that's unserviceable. We can do that. Sorry, I've been toggling my microphone off when I've been pedaling since it's been squeaky. Usually I catch it, but I missed it there because I was looking at my alerts. I think it's Galacta into Buster Venom now, yeah? Although, you know what I should have done? With them stacking all of these here, I should have moved this to here and then Galacta'd here to punt the left is what should have happened. Yeah, I messed that up. I should have switched this around.
What a game!
They lost Spectrum, so I think there's a good chance this is just good. Yeah, I don't think they can beat 11 over here. We're gonna be huge over here. Are we big enough to beat Iron Man? I think we're big enough to beat Iron Man, right? Iron Man will be they're at 13, 17. Iron Man is 219. They're at 38. Yeah, we're beating 38 here. I believe Iron Man is 38 here. Phoenix would be Zola. It would not be. Hotel Inferno is Banish, not Destroy now, so they updated that templating when they added the Banish mechanic to the game. So once upon a time, Hotel Inferno did destroy, and it did disrupt / work with Phoenix Force, depending on how you look at it, but it does not anymore. They changed it. spread to play around tech cards. So they're an ongoing deck. They generally speaking don't have tech cards like Shang-Chi and stuff. Appreciate everybody hanging out today. Just some notes for the regulars. I'm going to be taking a long weekend this weekend. I'll be off tomorrow and Monday. I'll be back for our new card release on Tuesday. Hope everybody has a great one. So I'll be streaming for a little while today, though, so don't go anywhere. I'd also like to give a shout out to one of my longtime sponsors, Into the AM. I think my wonderful, sweet new dragon shirt, and all the ones you see me modeling up there in the upper right-hand corner. They are having a sale for the holiday this weekend in the United States. You get up to 70% off of stuff in their catalogs. Be sure to check them out using my link if you're looking to pick up some awesome and unique clothes. Make a lot of great stuff. If Elixir revived banished cards, would that be something? There really aren't a lot of things that banish, so I don't think that's super relevant. I'm actually gonna go ahead and mulligan this. This opponent is playing a mirror match against us, and they're not snapping us back, and they want to play 800 games, so... I think mirror matches are kind of lame in general, and I don't really want to play 400 games of a mirror match. You know, I actually don't have a ton of their non-graphic stuff. I need to make a point. I need to make a point to pick some of it up. For their non-graphic stuff, I have one of their zip-up hoodies, and I have a couple of their pairs of pants that are good, but people keep asking me about the polos and the bomber jacket. I think those are going to be the next things I pick up from them. Most of the stuff I have from them is very colorful. Like this one. I think I'm supposed to play this, so we'll just cartage it right away with the 2 destroyers in hand. Airship opponent who immediately emoted me. Airship Thanos at that. It's a shame I don't get to Venom my carnage here. But it is what it is.
What a game!
Yeah, it's probably a good call. 9+. If we're carnaging on 2, we should play Deadpool right most times. It's a good shout out. What do we think of do nothing into a tuba into Galacta Deadpool in the Atuma path? I think I'm into it. Oh, it's free to play the Deadpool if we're gonna Atuma on 4 because he blows it up. Yeah, it's a good call. I'm gonna mulligan this one too. I don't need to play anymore against Thanos. Against Irish and Thanos.
Escape.
That's a great call out. I haven't played a ton with this card. The patterns are a little weird. I appreciate that shout, Stark. This board is restricting my mojo. Misty, Sunspot, Armor, and Cosmo are cards in their output range for sure. Feeling kind of dead. I guess if we find like Galacta this turn, we could be okay. Our deck's one of those types of decks where if our opponent magic's here, we don't actually mind. That one I mind. Alas. One of the only people still playing Armor in this game. Oh. And I can make some numbers on the left, I suppose. They're almost assuredly not enough. We lose to them passing. Is Meowscarada Decidueye one of the best decks to climb with? It's fine. Best is probably strong. Seems okay. Oh my goodness, we beat them anyways. That's so funny. It is a little weird that they elected not to armor their 1-drops against. I guess they didn't know we were a destroy deck though. We'd only played Galacta to be fair. I don't think it's remotely clear that we're destroy on the turn they played the armor. Yeah, but I would assume Giratina Darkright's probably still the best deck. I know it had like a scuffed weekend for the tournaments last weekend, but I think it's likely still the most consistent thing you could be doing by a wide margin. Hey, gamers, 20 more minutes of biking, and then I get to eat lunch. I can do it. I can do it!
I definitely need to change my underwear.
Hulkbuster. Elixir. I think it's just this, and then I had Tuba here next turn. And then we could Nimrod into here.
I definitely need to change my underwear.
What if I do this, and then next turn I have Nimrod plus 14 power Deadpool to deploy? I think I like this.
What a game!
If you're missing Elixir from this deck, I would recommend playing Deathlock in that spot. Give yourself a little bit of added consistency. This gives me 13, 14, and 24, which seems real solid. Are they ever a Killmonger deck? The kitty decks usually aren't Killmonger decks, no. Shang-Chi could happen on the right. Is a possibility. But hopefully if they Shang us on the right, we win the other two. I guess like Shang right plus am I not supposed to play for here? Is it this to play around Shang on the right? Hey, it's this to play around Shang on the right. Shang stops at 2. Yeah, but I bet 18 wins here and 5 wins here. Oh, I forgot about the Gwen pool. Yep.
Power must be controlled.
Oh, that's sad. Forgot to mute. Average Marvel Snap experience.